Hi guys, Elena with Elena Nicole Health here. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm a certified health coach and personal trainer. I help women who want to lose weight and get healthier and really look and feel their best every single day, do it in a realistic and sustainable way. You can find me on my website at ElenaNicoleHealth.com or on any of my social pages at Elena Nicole Health. Always feel free to reach out with questions. That's what I basically create these videos on, is when people or clients submit questions, and then I go ahead and gather my thoughts and ideas and content and share it with all of you in hopes that I will be able to help you somewhere on your journey and help you get from that place of maybe struggling a little bit and feeling stuck to ultimately being successful and not only reaching your goals but also maintain them. So today's video, I'm answering a question. The question was, how do I not go overboard with calories when snacking? This person that had posted this had just shared that they do really well when it comes to meals, but not so much when it comes to snacking. So typically, if we were in a coaching session, I would ask a few more questions, walk me through a situation, like tell me exactly what happens when you are snacking. I'd be curious about the situation, what they're doing ahead of time, if they have a plan of any sort. That's always what I typically go back to, what was your plan and did you follow it? But since I don't have that information, I'm just going to kind of run through a couple tips and just some thoughts that I had when I initially read that question, and how I kind of maintain, I guess, my composure and my control when it comes to snacking. The one thing that I will say is always ask yourself, what am I about to do? What am I about to eat? And why am I about to do it? And do I like my reason? For me, especially when it comes to snacking, I typically like to eat or snack for one of two reasons. One, because I'm hungry, because I am needing nutrients. My body is looking for, a balance of either clean carbohydrates, protein, healthy fats, fiber, and ideally fruits and veggies. So it's somewhat of like a mini meal. It's basically a small meal to fuel my body. So that's one reason that I typically snack. The other one is if it's like a rare occasional food experience. Somebody brings my favorite homemade cookies to work, fresh baked brownies, something that, and of course I'm a sweets person, so I'll always bring that stuff up, but something, or maybe I'm at like a food hall, I'm traveling and I'm going to try something as like an experience, and it's going to be a snack portion, but I'm not necessarily hungry. And then on occasion, maybe I am about to watch a movie and I am intentionally deciding that I want a bowl of popcorn. It's a snack, I'm not hungry, it's not really a rare occasional experience, but I'm deciding, right now I am going to have this. Those are really the three main reasons that I decide to have a snack. I feel pretty strongly about, especially if like health, weight loss and maintenance and really regaining control around food is a goal for you, I really encourage you not to just eat mindlessly throughout the day just because you can. Even if it's low calorie food, I highly encourage to be a little bit more intentional with that and like set some general parameters for yourself. Like I just shared, those are mine. I really encourage setting some for yourself as well. What are your snacks going to look like? How often do you want to have them? What kind of quality do you want them to be? I definitely always encourage exercising that portion control, not in a way of, counting calories or counting the amount necessarily, or, going off fat grams, but how much do you want to eat? Do you want one bowl? Do you want one like napkin full? Sometimes I put mine on a napkin if I have nothing else, because I want to know what I'm eating and I want to make that intentional decision to go back and have a second serving if I so choose. So that's something you get to decide how much you want, but make sure that you're making that decision. It's a choice that we have, and many times we don't make it. We just eat directly out of a bag or a bowl, and then we literally have no idea how many calories that we consumed. So that would be a tip maybe for you if you're someone that is challenged with this. Definitely consider portioning it out and deciding like, how much do I want to start with? How much do I want to eat? Evaluate how you feel after you eat that specific amount. And to go along with the reasons why I do choose to snack, there are reasons that I choose not to snack. If I find myself in any of these situations, 99.9% of the time I will decide to walk away and not have anything, because I do not like eating for these reasons. And again, if weight loss, maintenance, intentional eating, kind of regaining control around food is a goal for you, I would encourage that you consider this as well. The reasons I don't choose to eat or snack is out of habit. I found myself for way too long after dinner, eating a snack because it was a habit. Because, you know, at 10 o'clock at night, okay, time for a snack. Well, you know, I'm not a child. I wasn't hungry. I have weight and health goals, and that was not helping me reach them. I used to do it in my car. Every time I got in my car, I used to just grab a snack. Like, I have no idea why, but once I started to bring that awareness piece into it and paid attention to what I was doing all day long and caught myself doing that, I was almost shocked that I was doing it, but it was such a habitual thing. So when I find myself eating out of habit, I almost immediately decide that I'm not going to do it, because not in like a hand slapping way, like, no, you can't, but it's more, wait, we don't do this. We don't eat out of habit. We eat for these other reasons. So that's one big one. Emotion. I highly encourage as well, taking a look at that. If you find yourself snacking in times of high emotion, you know, when you're bored, you're procrastinating. I mean, how many of us, especially during quarantine, when we were working at home, would find ourselves at the fridge or the pantry because we really didn't want to do any work, or we didn't want to do what we planned on doing, or we were just trying to like kill time. So that's a big one. When you find yourself eating and you're asking yourself those questions, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And you find yourself trying to either numb, distract, avoid, or create an emotion, those are big ones that I like to evaluate and try to separate the food out of it. You can always have food. You can always add it in, but I encourage you to deal with the emotions first and then consider the food as kind of a secondary. And then lastly, so I don't like to eat out of habit, out of emotion, and also when just because everyone else around me is eating. That's like a big one. You go to a party and everybody's eating, but the food isn't that great, you're not hungry, and it's not a rare occasional experience, you really don't want to. I try my hardest not to just start mindlessly eating food just because the people around me are eating. I have my goals, which is separate from everyone else's. So, you know, and it's really irrelevant that everyone else is doing that. Really what it comes down to is most of the time is we're uncomfortable in those situations and we just feel like we should eat. Like it will give us something to do with our hands and our bodies. So those are the reasons that I particularly choose not to. I encourage you to think of your own. What are the reasons you do want to? What are the reasons you don't want to? And when you choose to do it, what do you want that to look like? And start there. Make your plan. So then just a few other general tips and times to watch out for that, you know, mindless eating is really, there's a high chance that we will do it. So general tips I mentioned before, trying to focus on those mini meals when you are snacking, and then portioning out your food, deciding how much you want to eat each time. I mentioned that before as well. And then just a few times to watch out for the mindless eating, because there are times that I like to be hyper aware, pay a lot of extra attention, because it's really easy to end up, you know, eating an entire bowl or bag or whatever it may be of something, and not even know what happened or what I consumed and if I even liked it. So just a couple times is events, family parties, gatherings, weddings, any of those types of things. At night, that's a big one for a lot of people. At work, in a break room, when a bunch of people are around you and they're eating and you just feel like you need to eat because they are. In your car, like I mentioned before. After work, I know for me that started like after school, I would get home and have a snack, just continued into after work, and then I had to really reevaluate. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Do you want to be doing it? Before and after meals, as you're cooking, snacking, tasting, sampling, that's a big one for me. I have to pay a lot of attention. Again, times of high emotion, when maybe you're bored, stressed, uncomfortable, watching out for that. And then when you're on electronics, whether you're scrolling on your phone or watching TV, it can be really easy to just eat food without even knowing you're doing it. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Again, you can find me on any of my pages at Elena Nicole Health. If you're ever interested in working with me, please feel free to send me a message or reach out on my website, and I look forward to talking to you soon.